Typically a businessman has to wear multiple hats, like there are multiple roles. Okay, but the thing is, like one person, it's very rare one person is good in multiple roles. Okay, so you have to be very conscious about it. You have to be very cognizant in what are you good at.
I'm Jitendra Singh. I welcome you to Read My Story, where I interview authors, speakers, coaches, celebrities, entrepreneurs, and more. Today, I have with me Mr. Muthu Jagannathan. He is fulfilling his dreams of turning businesses ideas into reality. Microeconomics, financial planning, advanced investment strategies, and tax planning are his core competencies. His business are implementing the vision everyone deserves a better life. He has decades of business experience with a background in computer technology, sales and marketing, and financial services. He uses his experience and continuing education to create generational wealth development systems. He is passionate about bringing innovation to children's education. We are educating our children for jobs that doesn't exist. The curiosity and desire to learn need to be the foundation for them. To implement the vision, he started a non-profit organization delivering online education in science, language, and computer technologies. He is spending his free time writing, and soon he will be publishing his book. Today, he will be discussing with us about his life journey. So, let us hear from him. Welcome, Muthu sir. The platform is open, and now over to you.
All right, thank you, Jitendra. All right, thank you, Jitendra. It's very interesting, very good to meet you. Like I have to thank my friend Venkat in Chennai for introductions. I love the idea. Like it is great. It is in fact, this is what my book is about. Like how to learn from people who are next door to you. Like a lot of times we take inspirations from great people like Gandhi, Vivekananda. I mean, there is nothing wrong with that. Abdul Kalam. Those are all great. Those are all excellent examples. But you have to. Everyone has to realize that there are great examples right next door to us, right? Like people who look like us, talk like us, from the same town or from the same country, from the same area, went to same college, similar colleges, right? So those are the people who have done exceptional jobs, right? Exceptional accomplishment, which we never pay attention to because they are not at the level of Gandhi or Vivekananda, right? So we are always thinking about we have to look up to these guys who are heroes, which is true, which you can continue to do. But there is also accomplishments from people who have done great things in life, and you don't have to copy everything what they have done, but you can get an idea from there. Like that will spark your brain, spark your mind, and then you can take inspiration from that and continue and grow from there. That's my book about. Diligently working on it. Whenever I get
that is really an interesting topic to read on.
Yeah,
and I really wish that would come out soon so we can have a copy.
Definitely. You will be the first person to send the copy to.
Thank you so much, sir. So I'd like to know from your about your life, how it has affected the person who you wanted to be in your life and what you are today.
Yeah, I think I had the good fortune to have growing up in a house with a lot of books around me. So my dad is a avid book collector and reader. So he's like his life is about buying books. Okay, so he will go to any extent and look for something unique in the books. Like it is kind of like a therapy for him, right? So there are books all over the place in the house. Like I'll just read, live, sleep right next to books. So it is fortunate I was gifted that way. Like you can consider that as a special privilege for me, but that is something anybody can have. But the point is, I use that privilege. I mean, I also family members and relatives and everybody comes to the place, but not everybody caught on to. So by some reason I caught on to it. Like so, reading books developed that habit of becoming curious about things, right? So that developed interest in variety of things. So luckily for me, my dad bought books from different topics, not just any one specific topic. So started to science, to geography, history, everything. I dabbled into whatever I could get hand I can read. So I liked reading at that time, right? So that habit developed, and one of the book I read was about computers, which was translated in Tamil, where I was from in Tamil Nadu, India. So the author wrote about computers at that time. So I said like, oh, this is awesome. This is great. Like, it's very interesting. So who's teaching? So there are only IITs and maybe one or two colleges was introducing computer science at that time when I was graduating.
Right.
Not many. So I just luckily got into one school where they were teaching computer science, and then one thing led to another. I'm here in US. So, but essentially the reading books developed that habit of becoming curious about everything, right? So that led to meeting people, talking about things which is very interesting. Then I realized that life is very interesting with ideas always. We'll never get bored. I mean, sometimes when I have a daughter, a 13-year-old, sometimes she says like, I'm bored. I said like, I can afford to be bored. Like, there are so many things to do. I mean,
right.
Time to think that you are getting bored, right? So we have this interesting conversation. So, but the idea is like, you can always find new things to do, and you are always perfect what you are doing. Like, it is not about doing great accomplishment, like not running a mile under 10 seconds. I mean, not 100 meters in less than 10 seconds, like Usain Bolt. Like, it's not always, we don't need to always compare ourselves with the top of the industry, of the field, and think that, we will never get there. But you don't have to get there. Like, my theory or practice is always like, 60% of something is better than 100% of nothing. So,
right.
If you don't do anything, like, you're not getting anything. So why don't you just do at least 10% of that work or 20% of that work and get started with it? Like, the biggest difficulty is to get started in anything. So I started meeting people. I mean, the great benefit for me was like, meeting smarter people, way smarter than me, and learning from them. So the best way that led to my interest in education. So that is my passion in everything I do. In terms of education, and it's not just after some point of learning things, like I realized that I have to teach it or share it with others, or I have to let people to learn, have the same experience like me, so that they can move from there. 0 to 10 is also okay, right? So that's why I'm in this journey of training, teaching, educating people.
Right. That's really wonderful, and your journey has been really wonderful. Like, habit of reading is one big habit which can change anybody's life.
Yes.
I also believe in that. So if I talk about things you are passionate about in your life, and the answer I don't want is reading. Apart from that, what are the things you are passionate about?
Yeah, a lot of things. But the most important thing, I mean, everything comes together as a package, right? Like, that's my revelation, right? So at some time, like, cricket was passion. At sometimes movies was passion. Sometimes definitely computers, programming and all that.
Right.
Getting a paycheck was passion. At some time, like, marrying the girl I really wanted was a passion. So all these things keeps happening, but everything gets together and comes together a circle at some point of time in life, right? So right now, what I'm passionate about is like, creating systems. Okay, so what do I mean by creating systems? Because like, a lot of times we keep doing the same thing again and again, and look at job, right? For example, let's take an easy one, like, look at weight loss, right? So everybody on January 1st, they set up a goal for, okay, I have to lose weight today this year, right? So the gym is filled in the month of January, but slowly dwindles down, because the goal of losing X amount of kilograms or pounds is always going to be a goal. It will never, you can accomplish, and then you can go back the plus or minus again, and then it will always like chasing some numbers, right? Instead,
Correct.
We should create systems which will allow you to be healthy.
Correct.
Say, for example, if you are eating snacks a lot, then reduce the snacks or replace the snacks with something good. Like, say, for example, like, replace chakri with nuts, almonds, something like that. So
Correct.
you now
Correct.
are craving for eating something, but now you can replace it with something good like almonds or raisins, dried fruits, or regular fruits, bananas. Something you create a variety, but you can experiment all those things at home, right? So creating system in general is my passion. So I see anything, any problem. I call myself problem solver, like where people try to look at things and see that okay, this is the problem. Say right now, finances, economy, the market is down and all that stuff. Okay, this is an opportunity for people to invest and grow their wealth. Everything is cheap. Buy at this time.
Correct. And you appropriately mentioned it correct. The thing which we create our goals and we set our goals, and after a few days or maybe months, we tend to lose interest.
Yes.
Maybe that is one reason, because we cannot stick to our plan for long.
Yeah.
So we need a variation in that also, because that will help us to stick to plan for longer period. Because the thing is, monotonous kind of attitude of that is also kind of creating a disinterest in us.
Right. Because really, the goal is not the destination, right? The destination is the happy life that you're going to enjoy, right? So maybe if it is a parent, if it is dad, they want to run around with their kids, after losing some weight, it's easy for them to run around with the younger kids, right? Or if it is a young adult, they want to go hiking, riding a bike, or running, or walking, whatever, right? So travel, all those things. So if you don't set that as a goal, and if you just only follow through these numbers, it's always going to be a miss. We are setting ourselves for failure with this.
Correct. That is really a case.
Yeah.
So sir, if I talk about your work and experiences, like how you started your career, what all you did so far, how you got into your business journey.
Yeah. So working in computers led me to come to US. So I was here in US working in different projects as a contractor. So one thing led to another. I met people who are in the business area, right? So there are a lot of mentors. In fact, some of these mentors are really unbelievably not just wealthy, but I learned so much from them that has put the foundation for my thought process, how I should do things regularly. So some of them are not even around, but the legacy lives on, right? So what you learn, it can continue generations later. So that's important. That's another thing that I am reiterating myself in terms of education, right? Education is not about standing in the classroom and talking to somebody one day, but I remember my childhood teachers, and so they have the legacy. Some of those teachers are not there anymore, but they have left a legacy, right? They impacted multiple generations. So those are the things happened with me in terms of learning from others outside my career job, right? So I was always curious, reading and going and meeting people. So I started small, taking small steps in terms of getting comfortable talking in front of people and all that, and then one thing led to another. I was in business meetings where I talked to in front of people, many big crowd, and so it's always attract likes, right? So what kind of things you are looking for is also looking for you.
Correct.
So there is always there is a match already made, right? So you just have to go find the match. So that's what my business journey is all about. When everyone was looking at getting a job, they think it is a secured job and just stay with that company and work. In fact, some of the people I started when I was in US, they still work in the same company. This is 20.
Okay.
But it's good. They like it, they enjoy it. So I appreciate for them. But I was not able to do that. So I started my own company, and then I was self-employed since that time. So it gave that responsibility. So you're asking, we were discussing earlier, how somebody who works in a corporate job, they can fulfill their dreams of having a startup, right? So to do that, that leads to my thesis of how somebody can perfect the skills. You don't have to think about the top guys in the business world right now. There is Satya Nadella, Sundar Pichai, and all those people heading great companies in the US. But how about I do my job very good in where I work right now, right? right? So what is some of the things that I can do that is beyond the expectation of my manager, right? My manager,
Correct.
my boss, whoever that is, right? So they expect every company, the boss or the company has a role, and there is a pay available for that role with the description. Okay, this role is for, these are the responsibilities for this role, right? So you take a look at those things and then find out how you can do best in those roles, right? So if somebody is a tester, for example, like IT quality control tester, like QA, so how can you do the best? If it takes one day, how can you do it in 7 hours, 6.5 hours? How can you do best? So the only competition is you yesterday and you today. That's all. Okay, there is no competition.
Right.
You and Bill Gates or Elon Musk or anyone else, right? Warren
Right.
Buffett. So am I improving every day? That's my statistics data point I am looking for. So I started companies. I see, the way I started was like, whatever ideas I have or whatever I want to do personally. Like, say for example, if I want to save money for my retirement, I didn't think of that as a job for someone else. Okay, I think of it as a job for me to figure out how to do it and then how it can help others to do it.
Correct.
All right. So all the things I started is like that. So I started. I wanted to save and expand my wealth. So I started the hedge fund. So now I realize that other people who are either they don't have time or they don't have the knowledge of how to manage money, they are investing in that. Okay. So I mean, I am not looking to compete with Warren Buffett or anything like that, but I am going to make this process best for me and make the process. This is going to be the best company that I know of, including all the top-notch companies, right? If I can do it at this level, then it can scale up. Okay, either I can sell it or I can hire people, and if I have the interest, I can add more people to expand. But the thing is, like that, I can do anything. Like, so when I talk about this corporate employees working in corporate, like the first thing is they have to perfect on their own work. Okay, fine. If there is a conflict, don't just stay with the conflict. Find a solution. Like your goal is either go to the next level or figuring out how to go to the next level. It should never be, okay, today is Monday, I just have to wait for Friday. It should never be that. Okay, if that is the case, I mean, there's nothing wrong in that. If that is the case, then you should forget about startup ideas. Like, you should enjoy working for the company. So make that clarity in your mind, like, whether I am going to be an entrepreneur or whether I am going to be a self-employed person, whether I am going to be somebody who likes to do things on my own, or I just want to work in some company. You make the switch and just follow that. Okay, maybe that things though that deviate, that decision can change later. Okay, you can switch back and forth. But today, as of now, where you are, you have to make the decision. I mean, you don't have to wait for another 5 years. This is the moment. That's it. You should get that spark just like that. Okay, I'm going to do this. That's it. And then you figure out how to make next thing. So there is this example I read for. It's actually a bad example. People who are in the addiction mode, like drug addiction mode, for them to recover, what they're teaching is like they're basically like lie down on the couch and they're just taking it easy, and they're not motivated to do anything, right? So how do you make them get up from the couch? I mean, you think about employees doing a startup. For the guy who's sitting in the couch, getting up is a project. Like getting up is like doing a startup. So teaching them is like all you have to do is sit there, don't change your posture, sit there and just move your little finger. That's it. You keeping a hand like this, just move like this. That's it. This is all you have to do. If you can start here and you can start continuing here and then make the whole hand move and move the hand and you can get up and move. So everything starts with that small step. But whatever you're comfortable today, you do it. Like don't wait for one more. Don't let one more day to go without thinking of doing it. Without doing it. Not thinking it. Without doing it.
Right. Very appropriately said. And you have summarized the thinking of today's people, like what they have thoughts relating to startup and all. So like if I talk about your vision, mission and goal now for next 5 to 10 years, so what is that?
Yeah. So after those startup, so now I'm into the mood of teaching and transferring the knowledge, or not necessarily what I know, just sharing the knowledge, right? There are several people, there are a lot of people who have expertise, okay? And there are a lot of people who needs knowledge, who needs education.
Correct.
Okay, you have to make a bridge between both of them. That's all. So whatever that help I got, I think I should be able to transfer it to some. I mean, some of that, it's not going to be 100%. Some of that going to be lost on the way, but still, some, even if it is a little bit help for somebody, it's useful for them. They can start from there and continue. So education is my passion right now. That's why I started this non-profit organization, and I have seen many of my friends, like, they are teaching technology, especially with the last couple of years with the COVID, people are staying home and all that, right? So people are doing Zoom classes or online classes, teaching internet, and then internet improved, and then we can connect with the people all over the world. It is not just about your local. If there is a school, like, I remember there is a school, I have to go, then I have to make a decision based on where I can go, based on where I live, right? So it's not about whether the school is good or not. Like, this is the only option available. But right now, you have unlimited option. Like, anyone can learn anything. There is the entire computer science degree from MIT is available in YouTube for free. Okay, you won't get the degree from MIT, but you get the same education as an MIT graduate, with the same knowledge. And in fact, there are companies who will hire you with that knowledge, like, because all you have to do is show them that you know how to do the work. So education is transformed. Like, internet has totally changed the way education is delivered, and the content is. I mean, this is education, right? This is me sharing some idea. There is somebody who will get benefit, and somebody is getting benefit watching your videos every week or every 2 weeks or whenever you are delivering this content, right? The frequency. So that's the education, my goal. Like, right now I have this non-profit, which is right now I have connected 3-4 guys, like 3-4 companies or individuals who are teaching computer science, AWS, data science, and in fact I'm starting for teaching languages. I'm starting with Tamil, learning Tamil online. So it's like a one-on-one training sessions. Okay, and on top of that, obviously there is another topic which is I'm really passionate about, is my yoga, meditation, and all that. Like, so again, that's another thing that I read so much. Like, it's not everything everybody knows. Like, sometimes, like, we know, if you are from India, like, you're bound to know temples and religion and all that stuff. Everyone has their own opinion on how things should be, but there is, despite all the religious factor, there is a educational part in the culture. Okay, that's what I want to teach. Like, yoga is basically for health, right? So health and wellness and meditation. So those are the things I'm passionate about. So I'm creating this online platform where you can learn the things that are not available. I mean, I'm talking about anybody, not just people in the villages or people in the remote areas. Even somebody is in the city who have access to all the local schools, good schools and everything, but they can get unlimited knowledge and education. If you go to YouTube, you can figure out anything, right? So people are learning n number of topics there. I mean, some of the topics they should not be there in YouTube, but it's there. So content moderation is another thing, right? So all those information is available. So at the next level, like, that knowledge is available for free, right? So how to make people interested in learning, that's my passion right now. That's all. So it's not about, like, you have a time. I mean, if you have a cell phone is like $1,000 device, something. Let's say you can use it to watch videos and for entertainment, or you can use it to learn something new. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything huge. It's just one tip, one small things, like, how to save money in buying a car, or where to buy a vegetable that is cheaper today regularly. So if you save, like, few amount of rupees every purchase, then every month, every year, it compounds.
True.
right? So those are the things you can learn. So people don't have to think like, I have to have an engineering degree or medical degree to become very, very successful, because that is all successful and all is fine. Like, you make a lot of money, but making money alone is not enough. You have to know how to keep the money, and you have to know how to grow the money.
Correct.
And then you have to teach your kids once you grow up, once you move on in life, like, kids are there, you get married, kids are there, kids grow up, like, you have to teach kids not only the education part and the technology, science and math and all that stuff, and you should also teach how they can manage money.
That's really important one.
So all those things come together. So that's why I call this as life 360. So it's like, you have to look at life not about getting an engineering degree, not about getting a medical degree. You have to learn finances, you have to learn relationship, you have to learn communications, you have to learn how to dress. Some people even have to learn how to dress.
Correct.
Yeah, how to shake hands. There are classes I have sit down. They took time to teach how to shake hands.
Correct.
So there are several things. There are so many things to learn. But the thing is, like, it's like you think of it like a sculptor. So there is a big rock, like, the sculptor goes and he just takes all the chisels away. Like, when you see him at the beginning of the chiseling, you don't know what he is doing, and you won't even pay attention. You won't recognize that he is doing any good work. But at the end of his work complete, you see a great sculpture, which is like so amazing. You can't even imagine he was there in that rock, right? So everybody is like that. So I think that's what everybody should focus, and that's my theme for the education. Like, everyone should learn. So in that process, I developed this app called Habit Talk, just like TikTok. It was not TikTok. It was not Habit Talk. It was Habit OK. So it became Habit Talk. So Habit Talk app is available in both Android and the App Store. So essentially, the goal for the app is when you use the app, parents can use that app to teach the kids how to develop the habit of reading books.
Correct.
Yeah. So
that's really a wonderful initiative.
It's like something which I started doing for my daughter, and then I realized that this other parents can also be it's helpful. So I extended that into an app, and that's an app available in App Store. And the learning management system, I'm creating a separate learning management system. Right now it's teaching Tamil, but we can do other languages. I'm looking for good teachers who can conduct classes. Now NRI from somebody from India goes to a different part of the world, they can still learn their language connected with the native speaker in their country, right? It's the same thing. It can work anywhere. Like, same thing happened to Chinese or Turkish or Iranian. It doesn't matter what language, right? So we can, once we have the platform, we can implement any language there. So that's the idea. So that's part of my creating system, right? So once you develop it, people will start using it.
This is really important thing, because you are providing education, not only the education part, but actually things related to education are more important, because that is our day-to-day life also. Language, since you can better judge this. You are staying there in US, so your daughter would not be having an environment to learn Tamil or maybe any Indian language.
Right.
So there, this app can come into a place and help them to learn the language with the native speaker.
There are options to live a more populated area, but there are people who live in a remote locations where they have to travel like 1 hour, 2 hours, and it's not comfortable, or it's not convenient all the time. So you have to make education easy and interesting for students. If you look at everyone can look back and see that they get interested in a subject because of the teacher who was teaching, right? Same thing. We can make it. Why is so many people watch YouTube videos or TikTok videos? Because it's interesting. It's as simple as that. It's not great content, but it is very addictive. So if we do the same thing for good education, it's going to be beneficial for for the next generation.
Like learning and enjoying both, that will help.
By the learning.
So, if I talk about the most important life lessons you have learned from your personal as well as professional journey, so what are those things?
Okay, what are those things? Like, some of the things are like, there is only finite amount of time. Nobody has infinite time. So, for me, when I was young, I thought like, oh, there is a lot of time. So, if I have to do something, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. So, I keep thinking about it. Then you realize, people, there is only so much time. There's only so much time in a day, so much time in a week, and so much time in a month, and all that, so on and so forth, right?
True.
So even people who are working in corporate jobs, there are always deadlines. You have to finish it. Some people work late evenings, late night, some all night, and all that. So work is based on a deadline, right? So if we have that programming done at work, so why don't we do that for our own personal life, right? So there is only so much time, and you do everything, prioritize. That doesn't mean like you always keep on doing the work. You prioritize and do the work. You live a life and do the work, right? Your life, it's actually balancing the life first, and then work around it. Okay, and take care of the family and all that first, and then put the work. So all of those things, and you can prioritize. When you are free, you have time. You can think about how I can make it better. So that's the biggest lesson, right? And I don't like I said, if I make that interesting, then I don't have to keep looking for what movie I can watch or where I can go, where I can travel to have fun, because every moment is fun. So that's my biggest learning. Every moment is fun. You can have. Right now, I'm having fun talking to you. This is the best time in my life. So enjoy.
Correct. Because when you enjoy doing things, the impact of that activity goes way higher.
Very higher, exactly.
Right.
And then be grateful for everything. It doesn't matter. Even somebody is shouting at you, give that benefit of doubt. Maybe there is something that triggered them, to be angry at you, but it doesn't matter. Give them benefit of us. I mean, I'm not saying don't show your cheek so that they can slap. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying don't feel bad about them. It's always, for me, the biggest lesson I learned is when you are angry at somebody, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It's not going to happen. Right? The side effect is very, very dangerous. So there is no need to get angry at people or news or some politician or some actor, actress, or somebody who's crossing the road. It doesn't matter. Everything is happening for whatever their reason is. I'm not going to be affected by their reactions. So I'm just grateful for everything that's happening in my life. And the other thing is be around people who are better than you. Or always look for association. Sometimes you have to pay for it. Sometimes you have to. I mean, a lot of times it is easy. I mean, you can go to. If you go to a wedding, right, or a birthday party, right, there is always some people who are better than you. I was going to say gooder than you. There are always some people who are better than you, right? They are good in their profession or good in their business. Make it a point to go say hi to them, introduce and all that, right? So you always seek better things in life, or seek the company of better things in life. You might have a lot of money, a lot of wealth, enough money, enough job position and all that stuff. But there is always that one thing you can learn today that's going to improve you in your job or in your whatever you are passionate about. So there is always something that can help you to improve. So take that extra step. It's not easy. It's not comfortable all the time, but it is it is worth it. That's why there is a book also in the name of compound effect, right? You do it you can also do the calculation 1 times 1 compounded at even 0.01%. It is a huge number. Because of the factorial. So the point is, it looks like a small thing, but make it as easy or as natural as getting up in the morning and brushing your teeth, right? You don't have to remember to brush your teeth or not today. Same thing, like make a habit, which is brushing your teeth, dieting, exercise, all those things. If you like exercise, make exercise. Think of exercise as brushing the teeth routine. Not that I have to go to the gym today. It's not like that. So making those small changes, incremental changes, will change that direction of your life over a period of time. And we think we cannot plan, but it's not. 5 years happens like this. It's very quick.
Right, correct. And when you put anything into habit, that is really easy to follow.
Yes.
Yeah. Now coming on to the theme of the discussion, like we see these days, many people in corporate are looking forward or having a thought that they want to start their own startup. So how this thing can be like converted into a business, first thing. And the most important thing is kind of mindset. When people are into corporate, they have certain kind of mindset, so they need to come out of that first.
Yes.
So I want to understand like how that can happen and how this journey can start.
Yeah. So doing a business is nothing different. It's a learned habit, right? So a lot of people give unnecessary pressure, thinking that doing business is a big deal. It's not really. It's just like when you are born, you don't know about the career what you are doing right now. You went to school and picked up something along the way and become. So it took probably 18 years or so to become good at to get a job and what you are doing. So same thing, you have that expectation, if you start somewhere, you will get good at in a business. You will be good in the business. It could happen sooner. Some people it has happened sooner, and some people it has happened later. It doesn't matter. That just because it took 1 year for somebody go from 0 to 100 crores, that doesn't mean everybody is going to do that.
True.
And just because 100 people failed in that business doesn't mean everybody is going to fail in that business. Everybody has their chance. Okay, so we have to know there is a chance for us, and are we going to take it? We have to decide that first. Yes or no, we are going to decide. And then we take it. And in business, there are different positions, in the sense, I won't say position, roles, okay, as a businessman. Typically, a businessman has to wear multiple hats, there are multiple roles, okay? But the thing is, one person, it's very rare one person is good in multiple roles, okay? So you have to be very conscious about it. You have to be very cognizant in what are you good at. If I am a very good programmer in IT, that doesn't mean I can become Bill Gates. Because at some point Bill Gates was programming, and if you ask those people who saw his program, they would tell that it is very bad. Okay, he was not a good programmer, but he was a good businessman. He became a good businessman, right? So there are different roles in business. Somebody can bring the investments to the company. Some people can do the operations. Some people can be good in HR, manage all the people, build team and all that stuff. Some people can just talk about the company to others, in marketing, PR and all that, okay? And some people can have the vision, 5 years from now, what should I do? 10 years from now, what should I do? All those things. So usually an entrepreneur is somebody like that, who just thinks long term, right? Oh, I have this idea, I can start a company, and then 5 years from now, it will go like this, 10 years, it's going to be that big and all that stuff, right? So now knowing that, what else you have, in terms of money management, finances, marketing, in terms of, getting the product assembly line and all that stuff. See, Apple, Steve Jobs was not very good in manufacturing, so he had Tim Cook, so he took care of all those things, right? So same thing with Bill Gates, he brought in other people who can run the company successfully. So based on your strengths, you find partners who can fit in that vision. And now it comes to the selling the vision to them, right? You have to tell them, hey, I have this great idea, this will be the next unicorn, next to be huge success, and so you have to have those people. But those people should fit into those different profiles of a business. So you should pick. There are not a lot, maybe 3 or 4. Infosys was started by a group of people. It was not just one person, right?
Right.
We hear about Tata, Birla, and all those big Ambanis and all those big names, but it is still not one person, right? So it's still a group of people who are managing the show, running the show. Same thing. If you are thinking about Reliance Industries and starting a company, then you make sure that you have that many people to run the show. Obviously, as a startup, you cannot afford to get so many people. So that's why you have to get those founders who can think in that line of work. So that means you have to share profits with them. But a lot of times, I think it is mostly the mindset. Like that's again coming back to that mindset of money management and finances, right? So a lot of times people are they're ready to take, but they're very reluctant to give. So I know that because I have a non-profit organization to help others. Like when I talk to people, they're like when they come to my investment, they say like how much percentage return the money can make. But when it comes to donations, like oh yeah, I'll think about it later. It's good. It's a good thing you are doing. I'll think about donating later. So you have to develop that mindset of sharing your profits. Like your company will grow. Some people will join and they won't do exactly what you are doing. It's your vision, your baby, but still you should be able to share it with the others. You should get other people involved to be successful. So that is probably a key in a startup. Like I've seen many startups fail because they don't have the key co-founders. They think like I don't want to share. I mean, this is my IP. They call it intellectual property. So this is my IP. I don't want to share it with us, which is true. But if you want to get the company off the ground and take it to the top levels, then you have to have the players. In fact, I would recommend you watch the book Social Network, about Facebook. So
the movie is also there on the same.
Yes. So pretty much all the big companies, like the Facebook was struggling. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg was like just sitting. Mark Zuckerberg wanted to do everything in New York, like and then this guy came. Forgot his name. He came and he said like no, you have to go to Silicon Valley, and everything changed from that point. So again, all you need. That's why I'm saying like the people are more important than the ideas and money. So it's all of them are important, but at some point you have to switch the focus from idea to people. Who can I add to the team where I can launch the business, right? It's not about that's why it takes time for some people to launch, because they keep thinking about it, like they're not focusing on how to launch it now. So every time I think an entrepreneur is somebody who want to do it now, who don't want to postpone it. I mean, you can say that okay, I'm building all this is the plan, I will launch it 1 year later. That is fine, but in your mind your business is happening now. You are living in the presence with the business. Your business is not in the future. It's not about the past. Like you might have done a lot of sales last year, but right now you have to work on your business to grow next year. So always it is current, present, and always you are focusing on who I can bring in to grow the business and who I can help to grow the business. So those are the things.
Correct. The basic thing is like you have idea, but the execution part is important. You should start it, and also you should find people who can be there in your journey and who can be like having expertise on some or the other subject, who can contribute towards the company's growth.
Company growth. Yeah. One thing is finding, right? You have to spend time in finding people. Another thing is like disconnecting that relationship. Like you should not think like, oh, I am not finding people because I don't want to get stuck with somebody forever. So co-founder is not somebody like that has to stay with the company forever. Like, you have to make sure that agreements, arrangements, and all that is available. Okay, I am bringing you on board. This is the performance I need. This is what I am trying to accomplish. Do that, we can work together. If not, then we can be good friends, but we will be part of it. So that should be clear. So that's why a lot of times people confuse the friendship with the business.
Correct.
It's not good.
Business is one aspect and relationship is other.
Yes. If you do that, friendship spoils and the business also spoils. So
right. Like as you rightly mentioned, ideation is one aspect, execution is more important.
Yeah.
So if we talk about the thing like preparation and execution hand in hand, they require in the journey, and like what all basic things we need to consider while executing these things. And onto it further, like financing is also one big aspect.
Yeah.
How to go about that?
Yeah. No, financing is a big aspect. That's why I think for whatever reason, like coming from India, like there is very little to no education on finances. I mean, which is I'm finding out like that's the same thing in US as well. The education, the training is not about teaching people how to be financially independent. Like I mean, I won't even. In fact, right now I am not even looking at financial financial independence. I'm looking at independence from finances. I don't want to think about what are the what are the payments I have. There should be money coming in, there should be expenses taken care of. I am just focusing on what I'm good at right now. I'll do my job if I'm working in a job, or I will do a business if I'm doing a business. So that's, or if I'm doing a charity work, I'm just go do the charity work, right? So those are the things I should be focused on. I should not be thinking about, okay, what do I do? How will I pay for my food this week? Or how will I pay for my rent or mortgage and all that stuff? So freedom from finance is very important. Okay. So same thing for the business also. If the startup founder is the person who has the idea, then he should not be bothered about finances unless he has backing from his dad, or he has family money, unlimited supply of family money there. Then you don't have to worry about money. You can be the founder and you can be the financial investor, right? But if you are not that situation, then you have to go find people who can invest in your idea. So it's an idea. It's a sales job essentially. So that's why I think every good businessman is also a good marketing guy. They have to be a good salesperson. You have to learn skills. I think everyone should learn computer science a little bit, sales, finances, things like a game theory type of logic analysis type of, I won't say full philosophy, but instead take the different topics in the game theory and all that, and then use this to teach others. What I meant is, you talk about it to other people, friends or friends. So just take a concept and say, let's say for example, you learned about blockchain. Then you go talk about it to your friends, and you have to, the only time people learn is when they teach it to others.
Correct.
When I read something, then it is just goes here and then gets out of the head. Right? Otherwise it doesn't go to the memory, right? It doesn't stays in the memory if I don't teach. So teach it to others. So that is where the partnership is important. You have to learn the skills that is required to be a founder, right? So if you're in a job, if you're not good in sales, you cannot talk to people, then you have to learn some of the basic things. You don't have to be an expert in sales, but you have to know how to stop somebody in a supermarket and say hello. And there are several books, which talks about how to talk to strangers, right? How to make contact and say hello to people anywhere, anytime, right? So from there, you have to build a relationship. You have to make people to understand that you have a great idea and invest in my project, right? So it's process, but you have to do it every day. So the effect of exercise, you can see the effect of exercise when you're climbing a tall mountain. It's not going to happen because you went to the gym in that morning. You have to go to the gym every day. You have to exercise every day, build up your muscle, so that when that happens, when you climb tall hills, you can run easily, right? So, but we are not. If we're not doing the things that is required for a successful business, then we should not expect the results. So there is no need to get disappointed, right? There is no chance of getting this.
Right, correct.
Yeah,
that's really important.
Yeah, that's why I said,
you rightly pointed out,
if you're grateful and if you execute little bit all the time, continuously execute things, it's just a matter of time. You don't have to worry about why is it not happening. You just have to worry about what am I going to do with all the money when it happens.
Right. We what we do in our day-to-day job, we contribute every day something, or some contribution every day we make. Same way, if we start making same amount of contribution for our business daily, definitely it will grow much faster as we think of.
Yes, exactly.
Right. So now coming back to you again, sir, are you an introvert or an extrovert kind of a person while meeting or facing your audiences? And what do you think the plus or minus of the same is?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I mean, I like talking about it because I have changed 180 degrees, so I like that topic very much. I was an introvert in the beginning, right? So I was definitely an introvert. I never talked to. In fact, the reason why I chose computer science is because I can just sit in front of the computer. I don't have to talk to anybody. Leave me alone. So I thought I can do computer science is my best fit, right? I mean, other than my interest. So I thought it is suitable for my personality, my career. So So introvert or extrovert is just a label, right? So it's not really defining a person. It's not like, if I am tall, if I am 6 feet tall, like, you can say that I'm tall. Okay, I cannot be shorter one day, taller another day. Whereas introvert, extrovert is not like that. You can be introvert 5 minutes before and extrovert 10 minutes later. You can be an extrovert on the same day multiple times, but you can be totally introvert other times, right? So that thing, it's a kind of a mood that happens in us, and we do that whether consciously or unconsciously. It doesn't matter how we are doing it. Okay, but the point is, it's a mood. You think of it as a mood, and then you can control the mood. If you are sad, then you watch something happy in the TV, or go talk to somebody, or just take a walk outside. Then your mood changes, right? If you're hungry, you eat food, your mood changes. So same thing. If you feel that you're an introvert, just go talk to people. You become an extrovert. So it's not rocket science, right? Like it doesn't take any great effort. Unlike people try to make it as an big deal. It's not really a big deal. So I was an introvert, and I made little changes. Like I started talking to people, friends, relatives, and then obviously getting married was a big milestone. My wife talks a lot, so she took initially it was like 90% conversation was hers and 10% is mine, and then it changed slowly, and then now she says like I am talking more and she's not that much talking.
So it's vice versa now.
Yeah, exactly. So from speak phobia to become speak mania now, I think. But again, it goes back to my point. Like now, you are introvert. You are neither introvert or not extrovert. You're always switching between these two. I love being myself. Like I can just stay home and watch TV or. But at the same time, like there is something that I want to do. Like go to talk to somebody about my charity work or my finances, about my funds, or even my work, job related things. Explain. See, anytime you do talk to others about something you like, you want, or you are doing already, you're excited about.
Right.
At that time, you will be 100% extrovert. Totally.
Correct.
Right.
That's really wonderful thing.
Yeah. So all you have to do
have the power.
Yeah. All you have to do is find things that motivates you, find something that excites you to talk about. That you can talk in public. There are a lot of things people will get motivated, but they cannot share with others. But right. So you have to have an interesting life. You have to have things, game plans, goals, accomplishment you want to do, and keep talking about it. So it doesn't matter. Like do you let's say you want to do PhD, for example. I'm giving an argument's sake. You don't do PhD. You talk about like I want to do PhD. I like PhD. I am interested in PhD. And even if you don't do PhD, then you will attract resources. Somebody will hear from you. Then they will tell like, oh, this university is offering. Oh, I know this professor. So something you will make that connections. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and you will be at 10 after some time. But you would have never got to step 10 if you didn't do the step 1. Correct. Right. So
that's right.
Yeah. Don't tell yourself that I'm an introvert and stay home. Like you can say that it doesn't matter. I'm introvert. I'm just going to go say hello to somebody.
Correct. When you start taking initiative and talking to people, so gradually you will definitely turn yourself into a person who can switch between introvert to extrovert and extrovert to introvert.
Yeah,
that power lies within you.
You always do that. I mean, even extroverts, but sometimes they don't talk. I mean, I have seen people. You have seen it. Like if you go to celebrities, like they're extroverts, they're jumping up and down in the stage, and then when you meet them in some place, like and say like, oh, I don't want to talk to you. Like they'll just rush to the car and get inside. They don't want to say hello to the fans, right? Everybody goes through that.
Right. So if I talk about the kind of support you got in your journey, so who were the people supported you the most?
It's all people outside my influence. Like, I mean, it's not like I'm from a very normal family in India, a regular family. So there is nothing like extraordinary in the family, right? So I have to go out and meet those people who I want to become, right? So it was all people I didn't know before. So if I have to, answer is people I did not know before. Those are the people contributed to my success. So if I have to, that is the reason why I'm big on education, right? Teaching people, helping others. What you can do can create a ripple effect of good results, good impact. Not only in this life, it will leave a legacy, leave lead to the next life, right? So I always think, like, a good parent, the mark of a good parent is what their children talk about them when they are not around. So that's how. So that same thing, like, if I am good, what people talk about me now is not a big deal. Like, they will tell based on how much is my bank balance, I think. But after I am not here in this world, like, what they talk about me, that's where. So everything we do has an impact, right?
Right.
So you have opportunity to meet people. Like I said, like, internet has so much of information. You can create connections all over the place. So all the successful things I accomplished, all the benefit is all because of other people I have met along the way. So it's nothing
wonderful.
Nothing was given.
That's wonderful. And if I talk about the kind of motivation and inspiration you get in your life to do things, so how you get that?
I don't think motivation is needed for anybody because motivation is something which we are. It's a kind of a framing ourselves, right? Like, what the reason why I'm saying that is, if somebody has a job, right? So they have a job. The motivation is, they talk about, like, oh yeah, I'm working on a great project and all that stuff. It's all good. But the motivation really is, like, they get a paycheck at the end of the month or end of 2 weeks, and then the paycheck helps them to live a life they want, or at least what they are interested in. Whether they have buying a specific car, or whether they buy this specific house, or in a specific town, or, like, something, some place they want to travel. All that is accomplished, right? So what is really motivating them to do the work? It's the life they want to live, right? So it's not what the work. The work is all important. I'm not downplaying the work. I'm saying the work is good, but the most important thing in that equation is the kind of life you are living, you want to live.
Right.
Okay, that's what motivates. If you are working hard, that means, like, you have some goals, like maybe pay for kids' education or marriage or something like that, right? So there is something coming up, retirement. All those things are coming up in the future. So that's why you want to do hard work in the job.
Right.
So that is the motivation is kind of like, is putting undue pressure on people. So if I have to frame it like that, like, I'm motivated to do good every moment in my life. Like, I want to be the best of what I do right now. Okay. And I don't have to compare with anybody. So I have that freedom to think that, I don't need to be comparing myself with somebody who's in US, or who has done computer science, or who has started a company, who has a fund and all that stuff, who has
right.
So that am I doing the best today? In fact, more than motivation, I would say, if you have to ask that question in a different way, I should say, you can ask, like, what are you very thankful for, right? So I'm very thankful for everything, like every moment, every day, every second. Like, there are so many exciting things. You look around, like, people complain about economy, war and all that stuff, but there are
people tend to
be thankful for, like, there is somebody who's getting benefit, somebody is, there is a child born, there is family, somebody is getting married, or whatever. Like, you can pick up around you, there are so many things to be happy about. Maybe I should write the book. Next book should be about that.
Yeah, that is a wonderful topic to work on,
right? Yeah. So I'm grateful for everything. So that's what motivates me. But again, like I said, it ties to my other decision, right? I don't want to set goals as such. Like, it's not. What good is goal, right? Like, you say, like, I want to make 1 crore. Then 1 crore sitting in the bank doesn't make any difference. No, the money is not. That's my understanding. Money is not what you have in a bank or in a FD or in some place, in a house or something. Money is about how that works for you. What are you accomplishing with money? Are you traveling? Are you eating a specific food you always like? Are you living in a place? Are you having enjoying the job which you always wanted? Or you are in a company, you are in a startup that you are dreamed about all your life. So what is money doing for for you, that's what motivates you to do that work at that day, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, freedom from finances. So maybe you can say, like, that's my motivation, right? So
Correct.
I don't have to have any limitations, whether it is finance or whether it is this or that, like, do kind of, and I'm not saying become uncontrollable, not that, like, I'll still follow the rule, government rule, regulations and all that stuff. That's not what I mean. I'm saying, like,
Correct.
to have any mental tension, pressure about making money or accomplishing something, like, okay, how to be CEO of this company, specific company. No, it doesn't matter.
Right. Correct.
We both do the same things, right? So CEO and
Correct.
the same thing. So
That's really true. If you can be free from any kind of stress with your money, then that will be the best thing.
enjoy every day, every moment. That's the motivation.
Right. So now, one important thing when we talk about money or achieving something in life is we always talk about the word which is very prominent, success. So what is your take on success? What do you think success is to you?
Yeah, I used to think success is title or a position, or not position, amount of money, or a certain house, or marrying certain type of a person, all those things, right? Like, so all of the above. So but the thing is that success is not what makes you happy. So
Correct.
can you happy, in fact, without accomplishing everything, can you be happy? I think that is success. Once you're happy, everything else is bonus, right?
Right.
So even if I make $1, I'm happy twice. I'm happy without any money. Now I make $1, I'm happy twice. $2.
Correct.
So I can keep on multiplying my happy the more things.
Yes.
But again, if I think happiness is only after I reach there, then it's a problem. Then that is what exactly brings stress.
Correct.
So
wherever you are,
yeah,
that is the point you should take into a consideration.
Correct.
And whatever you do, if you add happiness to your life, others' life, then you are doing something great.
yeah, and do only if it adds happiness, and don't do if it is adding stress.
Right. So that is a really wonderful thing to work on. Now we are moving on to the last question. Any message, advice you would like to share with our viewers and listeners?
Yeah, the message is simple. In project management, they call CTA, right? Call to action. Like every meeting doesn't go without a CTA. So call to action is like, you do something that will make you happy. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be always about money or about external things, right? Just to be yourself. Like, I have a yoga teacher. I'm practicing this style of LMS, learning management system, where you sit with the instructor, like a one teacher, live training, right? So that's when one-on-one. So that's when you can really understand, ask questions. It's a communication, just like how it used to be in the olden days, like, the teacher sits under the tree and teaches the kids, right?
Correct.
So similar thing, like a Gurukul style. So similar thing, like, if you have learning from a teacher, a coach, or a mentor, that's when you really understand things better, right? So my interest is, if I have to say a message, right? You have to do something good every day. Your focus is like, you have to do something good every day, and you have to think of that, doing that as now, in the presence, like not 10 years. So don't add more stress to your life by thinking about, oh, I should do this later, I should do this by, oh, what will I do when I graduate? I should get number one mark, when I'm graduating high school or college, or I should make certain amount of money in my job and all that, right? So those are all things you can think of, but to accomplish that, what you're doing now,
that is important,
right? So there is something you can do now. If you don't have something to do about that now, don't think about it. It's not, you don't have to stress about it. That doesn't have to occupy your mind at all.
Right.
Okay. That's all you have to do.
That's really wonderful thought.
You think about, what can I do now to go to the next level? It doesn't matter 1 crore money or just 1 rupee extra. So it doesn't matter. Like, just make that thing that will help you.
Correct. The most important thing is starting it up.
Yeah, exactly. Start. Launch. I call launch.
Launch. Correct. Yeah. Right word is launch.
Right word is launch. You should be always launching.
Correct.
It not necessarily, it's not like, inviting people and have this red ribbon and you're cutting and getting into the office. It's not like that, right? So you're always launching an idea, or always launching friendship, always launching about, trying to cook something different, or planting something different in the garden, or you're planning for a trip to a new place which you never went, or go to the business meeting meeting, look for a business meet. Like I said, like before we discussed, right? Like now, if you have a great business idea and if you are looking for finance partners, then look for where I can find these people and go to those kind of meetings. Even if it takes money, time, effort, go do that. Spend that money. Think of it as an investment rather than expense. Go and then make that effort to meet them and talk to them.
Correct.
Sometimes it doesn't work out. Like sometimes it will be 100% flop, but still that's how you go to the step 2, step 3, step 4. So unless
Yes.
you take step 1, there's never going to be a step 10.
That's really a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And I must say it was really amazing insights you have shared today. And I was amazed to hear you, like you were sharing so practical things which are really appropriate in our day-to-day life. And if we start following these things, they can like create really magic for us, whether we are doing a startup or like we are on a personal or professional journey. So anywhere we can implement these things, and that these things would really help.
Yeah.
So Muthu sir, thank you so much for your time, and it was really a wonderful session with you. I really enjoyed the conversation, and I must say I am not satisfied with whatever we have discussed today. I want to discuss more. I want to take your time again and again to discuss such more wonderful things with you, and looking forward to hear more from you soon again. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Definitely, Jitendra. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I had fun. So it was a good conversation. It doesn't feel like I'm doing a presentation or anything. Like you have made this very, very easy, smooth, and like as if we know each other for a very, very long time. So you have great
Right.
in communication. So I appreciate
Right.
it. Something everybody can learn.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time. It was really a pleasure. And I will also share your social media links so that people can be in touch with you,
Sure.
take your help, guidance on the subjects which you are working on, so that can help them to grow on that part as well. That would be a one good thing. So guys, forget to check that out too. Thank you so very much everyone for watching and listening. I hope you all must have gathered a lot of information and enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Have a good time. Thank you and bye bye.
All right. Bye.